Hi. Welcome back from a brilliant week. Yeah, hold on, I'm just making sure everything is in place. Yeah, this is going to be a weekly practice and just me sharing with you with what works with me. I need to get my baby charged, so just getting I'm grabbing the charger. Give me a second. As you can see down here. Yeah. Um yes. Screen is getting a little bright here. Too bright for me, but I think it's good for you guys. I don't know. Does it change? I don't know. But yeah, I would love to shoot one continuous shot. Yeah, so making sure everything is in place. Everything is in place, and we start a recap for the week. This was my last week, as you can see the setups of how it played out. Yeah. One thing I should say to you guys is I do usually take profit around most of my profit around like my one-to-one. Why every week there's going to be a setup. So yeah, and I know some people will look at this and say, "Oh, this was a clear buy," but I hadn't marked out my weekly levels yet. Plus, I mean, the fundamentals by then were giving, they were giving. You feel me? So this was for last week. This was for last week. This is how it played out. Excuse me. Yeah, and in case the person is not getting this still, this is a swing trading approach. Yeah, it's a swing trading approach, and some of the lines you see there, it's basically one indicator. I don't often use it. Just it marks out the the week, yeah, the week values, the high week values, but it was really put with someone I was with. Again, so that's the volume profile and all, but it doesn't really matter. I don't often use it for making my decisions. It will help in case I'm having a bit of confusion, but it's not what I really rely on. Yeah. So just moving forward. Yes, this was for the last week. Last week. Yeah. Okay. So let's get started. This week today is Sunday the 13th October 2024. In case anyone has bright light issues, my apologies. Yeah. Um. We're going to get to see how many trades you may have for the week. Some of these things I will have to maybe explain in detail when people are interested, but yeah, some of the things I do is I use a screener and I use particular values to help me mark out what I need. Yeah. Now this is for last week in my red folders or my red folders you can call it. But I usually use the volume of what the previous week came with. I'll just move that there and I'll look at first of all. I've made a particular listing and I have a list here of what I'm looking at, but I'll also mark out what I need exactly, and I'll use also the fundamentals I need because I already picked out these. Some of these I don't really look at them because some are exotic pairs, but some are also minor, you get. So you may not be able to access them on some of your brokers as well. Brokers that have limited pairs. You'll understand where I'm coming from with this. Get you? Yeah. So I'm just going to play some music as I do this, and then we get to the analyzing. Yeah. So as you can see, we're only left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pairs I'm going to be majorly looking at this week. Yeah. I feel like the screen is too bright, so I'll reduce. Yeah, but yeah, I just yeah, 6 pairs. I'll be moving some of this to an Excel sheet, but for now it can be that. and I just want to identify the pairs we shall be looking at. Yeah, so we'll just AUDJPY, sorry, so it's AUDJPY, Euro New Zealand dollar or Euro NZD. Hey, so the thing is, I had recorded a recap of what's basically gonna happen for the week, but then like what I recorded and what I analyzed, I didn't I didn't screen record very well, so like the whole thing was lost. So I'm like having to do this again. I'm having to do this again, and it's a bit frustrating. And since we have a lot to come through, I just thought I'd get a run through of what I expect. At least you've seen how I got the pairs, what I expect for each pair, and then what I'm seeing on the final bit, what pairs we're doing, and yeah. So I'll start. This is the British JP, the British yen, yeah, the euro, New Zealand dollar, the New Zealand dollar, the euro. I know the other same I get, but there's a reason as to why I look at the different two. You see the correlation, I see what they're giving me, and then I take whichever is giving me a better whisper. The Aussie dollar versus the yen, yeah. The British pound versus the yen. I don't know, is this a repeat? Okay. Yeah, I kept wondering why I had 5 and yet I had like picked out 6. So now this makes sense of it. You get, this is with Rwanda and then this is with IC markets. So I'll just take off one. Alright, so this is with the British pound. Yeah, so we'll go to the next. Aussie dollar, yen, and New Zealand dollar, British pound. So I'll just explain my thoughts on all of this and why I'm expecting these results. Yeah. So with the British pound, this has been an accumulation for a very long time. You look at it from the engulfing candle it gave on a push around. Yeah, sorry. Around here, that engulfing candle on the weekly, like it was really very bullish, gave a lot, and it's done accumulating. So here with this accumulation, what always happens, an accumulation happens and then a strong push, accumulation happens, strong push, sorry, and that's what I'm expecting here. I'm expecting it to build at least up to here if it's to deflect, but more so I'm expecting it to break through and continue to the upward. So I'll be looking for a setup around here, and that is in the lower time frames. As you can see, if it really breaks through, because it has been rejecting, if it breaks through and retests, man, it's going to be a very good setup. We look at the euro versus the New Zealand dollar. So I'll look at it from the weekly. Same thing, as you can see, we're in sort of a range, but when it tested our weekly zones. So I'll just emphasize one thing, because I'd said this in the video that I recorded but didn't play out well. Yeah, my orange zones are the higher time frame zones, and these are usually the liquidity traps where it will play around but ultimately get to those zones. So as you can see, it tested the zone, and then when you drop to the lower time frames, it looks like it's no longer giving us a higher high unless it rejects here and then goes. Then is when we can look into if this is a profitable setup to start looking into. But for now, because it has rejected in this zone and this, we are looking at a reversal. It Once it breaks this, then I'll be counting it for a better reversal for a short as well. But until then, I cannot confirm until I see those zones broken. Next to the So with this, just sorry. So yes, it came and tested an area of interest, but I feel like it's not done because then this week has to be filled, yeah. And if that week has to be filled, then we are seeing it coming into this zone, closing lower than this support zone, closing, and then I feel like it's having a retest. If it has that retest, then we shall drop. But then otherwise, if it pushes above this, then it will be going back for first of all into the range, but then breaking for higher levels to fully touch this resistance zone, whether it's picking liquidity or whether it's now breaking through and creating new highs of this week. Yeah, go into the next. So basically these are just the setups I'm looking at. Thought I share them, and yeah, I believe they're pretty interesting. Someone may have It may help someone or two. So yeah, again, same thing. We had a very strong bullish candlestick on the weekly, and you can see on even on testing the resistance level, it came back, tested much of the liquidity left by this, because I take it this candlestick was filling this week. It still rejected that. So there is a chance we may have to fill this before we are to continue up, but there is also the chance of how it closed, because it closed under that resistance zone. So there is a better chance for the first 3 days of the week. It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's going to really fast drop back, and we could even take an entry from there as well. Look at that. Look at that. Again, remember during the week I'll make a video or on Friday, Saturday of what went through. So we're looking at the same. With this, I feel like there's a lot of ranging happening in this market. Yeah, sorry. I need to just remove this so it can be explained better, because I see this as a very profitable setup to let's see if it really pushes that higher than that, but I feel this is a very remarkable level for it to, because you see it closed below the zone and it's like coming back to collect liquidity before it fully gaps down. I feel like I could even reduce this range entry to something lower to around this level, and if it plays out then very well, I can add on it as it moves to my direction. I hardly do that often since I take most of my profits a bit early, because we're looking at every week new setups. Yeah, so that is my analysis for the week. Again, I apologize, this may be so fast, but we had a technical issue where I'd recorded everything. It was about 22 minutes, and it's a bit frustrating because I have a lot to do right now. And yeah, I'll just switch to the Word document, and I see what we're looking at for the week, and we call it a week. Everyone be blessed. Lovely week here. All right, see you. So like I said, just to close the week, this is what we are looking at. These are the 5 pairs we're looking at. Many of them may correlate, but there's a reason as to why I look at them that way. And I may not take setups to each and every one of them, because some of them are correlating. So I look at what's whispering to me best according to my approach, and we take it. All right. See you next week. Miracle Isaiah signing out.